Let's fight! Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring. Let's share my little stuff you see us loud and clear. Welcome in the ring, good folks. Welcome in the ring, guys. Welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring. Good to have each and every one of you this evening. New bell we're testing out tonight, guys. Bang, bang, pan, pay. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. We are so glad that you folks have chosen to join us. We are so glad. You got the James is fully on the show. We're happy to have you. Onessa Whitedean and Leonard Jacobs, Myrna Monroe, Simone Williams, Wendy Andrews. Good to have you. Whichever part of the world you beautiful, lovely folks are joining us from. We're so privileged, Leonard Jacobs, that you are here with us. We're so privileged that Wendy Andrews is here and Carl Fordyce and I see Kwana Mingo, Leon Logan, Petula Boyce, Leonard Jacobs. Guys, let us know if you're hearing the audio well. Warren Mark is asking about SOPs. The standard operated passenger, we just do anything on this side. Anything that comes to mind, we just go. Glenford Gordon, good to have you. Good to have you. Mortimer Timothy Reynolds is here and Chanel Ross. Leslie Niles, how you wonderful, lovely, good-natured, peaceful, uncontroversial folks are doing, just like me. Peaceful, uncontroversial. Love that you guys are here. We got a couple things to talk tonight. Share the damn live, smash the emoji button, and you know, some folks might just be joining us as well. Might just be joining us. We're going to see how that is going to go. We're going to see, you know, we start with good intentions, but who knows how we end. GT Root Girl, good to have you here. Persis Baggett, good to have you here. Marcia Wiles, good to have you too. Delroy Bunbury is here. Wow, good to have you, Delroy. Good to have each and every one of you. Pace and power. Boots on the ground, folks. Let us know if you're hearing the audio well. Let me know if you're hearing the audio well, if you're seeing us clearly. Pace and power, guys. We're fired up at our end, and we are ready to go. And we trust that you wonderful, beautiful folks are as well. Pace and power, fired up, lovely folks, and we are ready to go. Welcome in the ring again. Welcome to each and every one of you. And Nelson, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Delia Silcott, good to have you here as well. Dexter Thomas, and I see all the other folks. This is Ron Lewis, Shanella Davison, and all the other lovely, beautiful folks pulling the monitor a little closer. Emily Durant, good to have you as well, Emily. Folks, share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. It's the fires of the PPP, the fires of the PPP. We're going to be chronicling and following them. Not chronicling them, following them, folks, and all the other stuff that has happened throughout the day. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Welcome, good folks. Welcome. Yep, good to have you folks. Good to have. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Roxanne Lesson Jacobs is here. The folks passing a little cokes. It's not the one that they ship out to Belgium and so on. It's the other type. Lannis Byers, good to have you, and Diane Fordyce, and all you other wonderful, beautiful folks finding our way at this end, come at this end, guys, and we're so happy that you beautiful folks here with us. We're ready to get to the fight card, guys. We are ready. We'll have some good folks joining us this evening. Stay tuned, guys. Welcome. You all share the live yet? You all smash that emoji button? What's in the old throat? Good to have you folks here. Good to have you lovely people here. Just wetting the beak. Guys, welcome. You will see another show like this in 3 lifetimes if you live. We just do things our own way. We just got people. We don't look to the north, the south, the east, or the west. We just concentrate on what we got to do this. And guys, welcome to each and every one of you. We're fired up, waiting on you guys. Where you all there, man? Where you all there? Good to have you folks. Come through, rock and come in, good people. Rock and come in. We are ready to go, and I think we are about ready. The rest can catch up. The other folks are going to catch up, guys. Really happy to have all you guys here with us. We are privileged. What we can tell you, we're really privileged that all you folks are here with us. We are really privileged. And we begin tonight, folks, trusting that you can hear the audio well, trusting that you're seeing us well, Cecile Ogle, Audrey, Miloti, Laverne, good to have you. Rhonda Lane, Rhonda. Good to have you here as well, Rhonda, Paul D'Angelo, and all you other beautiful, fantastic folks. Good to have you here. Kish Sharman, Joylyn Cook, Mavis, Davis well. Good to have you beautiful folks as well. Ebon Lamy, Fitzherbert Jerrick is here. Good to have Fitzherbert Jerrick and all the other guys who are joining us. O'Neill Young, welcome in the ring. Thank you, folks. His cooks are bringing his water. You know, they really care about me here. You know, they really care about me. Good to have you folks here with us. Good to have you folks here with us. Welcome in the ring. Testing out our new bell, folks. And I want to thank the folks who made it possible. We're going to show you all later on. Test everything one time. Welcome in the ring. Welcome. Welcome in the ring, good people. Pace and power. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground, friends. Good to have each and every one of you. And I think we're ready to go. We are ready to go. We're starting, folks, from around the world. And this is what Anthony Blinken is telling us tonight. He's telling the PPP they better get their act in order. They had better get their acts in order. You know, they're watching us on the human trafficking. The U.S. human trafficking report flagged Guyana for not convicting human traffickers. You know, they might be in bed with some of them. It's hard to convict people. Who are you sleeping with? Who are you sleeping with? Why isn't the government going after these folks in a more meaningful way? That is what Anthony Blinken, U.S. Secretary of State, the Americans in general are asking us. And these are some comments attributed to that U.S. report on human trafficking. They say you've got to go after the traffickers in a meaningful way. Convict. Get the evidence and you convict. But we're going after it in such a half-hearted way. We're not persuading anybody. Jennifer Haynes, Leon Logan, we are not persuading anybody at all that we are serious. You know, we got to move with more clarity. No, sir? Big word. You always get me dictionaries and me books from. You got to move with more clarity, good folks. That is what the Americans are telling us tonight. And I hope them boys listening. Because this is a long time. And those folks are very, very, very serious, as well as we are. Look what else we're tracking, folks. Digicel seem to be doing some good work this evening. Digicel seems to be doing some good work. Dennis O'Brien, the founder, the chairman of Digicel, founder and chairman, he has announced a reparation plan, right? And they are going to be partnering with some other entities, creating projects that helps to empower the Black community, that helps to empower, and we say respect and balance for that. Right? You don't got to wait from the UN and all of this. They are now playing their role. They realize how history has wronged, you know, Black people. And they're now stepping in and doing, you know, their bit in order to repair that breach. And so we say respect and balance to Dennis O'Brien and his team. And gotta look at Digicel in a whole different light now. Right? And a whole different light. Respect and balance to those guys. And we're going to be talking about this some more in a subsequent broadcast. But so happy that you folks are here with us this evening. We are so happy, folks, because we got so much things to say right now. So much things to say. You know, that's not nice. Somebody should make that song, you know. Good to have you folks, Tinsing Henry and all you other guys joining us. Shondell Moses, how are you doing, Shondell? Andrew Griffith, thanks, Andrew, for all the hard work you've been doing. I see Rogers here and Yolanda and Persis, Delia, all you fantastic folks. Respect and balance again to the chairman of Digicel. For your information, y'all know them boys lazy, lethargic, lukewarm, all of the L's, liards. And we know they watch us. They watch what happening here and then it's going to fix one. We're happy. We can take what we can get. We're going to take what we can get. Here's some of the stuff we're following, folks. The folks in Bladen Hall, the road's bad, but they want up, they reported it. You know, the suffering. But once we, you know, come and highlight it for them, then they got the problem. folks, our friend, Buxton Morning Time, was there. Kadaki, Cam's television was there. The people protesting, soon as they see Kadaki, they go running. Kadaki, why are you frightening people there in the East Coast, man? Why are you frightening people? The people got road problems. They got a half road there in Bladen Hall. They need help. But Kadaki turn up. Problems. Problems. The people serious. The different, folks. The different. We watching that. I think we even have some footage. Compliments of Cam's television. We even have some footage, good folks. Compliments of Cam's television. And we're going to be monitoring, following. Are you guys ready with that? I hope the guys are. Take a look, good folks. And take a listen as well. Do we have it? I think we have it. But I hope we do. I hope we have it. The folks that need help. Right? But they want certain people amplified. Folks, this country different, you know. It's only we worried about who coming to the rescue, you know. It's only us worrying. Take a look, folks.
This is Bladenal, Bekari, Mangal Street.
I think we do.
Yes, Camp TV outside. Watch it, Bekari, Mangal Street. The residents are out there protesting for a road. They said they want a road. They said the road bad. But guess what? Once Camps TV turn up, they run inside. They ain't want a road no more. Are you watch? They said they ain't want a road no more. Watch. They run gone inside. But here what happened? The fact is the people at Bladenal, Bekari Street, Bekari Mangal Street, they said they want a road. They're complaining that the road is bad. But once Camps TV come up, them run gone inside. I don't watch them. They don't want to expose the incompetence of Durham Lal, the minister local governments or minister within local government. You gotta come and fix the people road. What you gotta say, uncle? What you gotta say about this road?
No road.
Huh?
You got back road.
Yes, you're what you saying?
Back road. Back road.
You live in the last house in the street?
Yes, the road is very bad. We needed to make.
Very well. How long this road is, man?
Very long, couple years ago.
And they ain't fixing. Why you think they ain't fixing your road?
Huh?
Why you think they ain't fixing your road?
You want to see the road?
Yeah, why they ain't fixing it? That's what I'm
I
asking.
don't know why.
All right, good. So I come in and they're shouting the woman down. They don't want her to talk. Well, I go in so I can see the road myself, you know. Because Ghana is the democracy. Look how they're pulling down the little boy with a placard. They don't. Wait. Y'all didn't want to see that your government to give me a road? Well, lawlessness is this here. Camps TV out here. You want to stay at the road. Bekari Mangal Street in Bladenal. And you know why I like in this road? Because you're going to see how quick you're going to fix compared to other parts of the country. They call him from Durham Lal. What you going to see? Them a run, much speed. Where you say that, girl? Where you say that? Where you say, girl? Where you say? You don't want the road fixed, girl? Where you say? Yes, Stevie outside, we live with him late now. Bekari Mangal Street. I want to stay at the road now, man. They complaining so they vote for PPP and they fixing the road. As soon as Camps TV come up, all of them run inside. Them run. Look how them run gone inside. They don't want people to see them and protest the road. Well, what a thing is this? Ghana is a sick place where people cannot come out and protest what really is affecting them. Y'all here? Yes, but y'all take note. This road gonna fix soon enough. Watch. Y'all watch the road, eh? Are you watch the road? I'm gonna run them. Hold on, it's Camps TV. We outside. Hold on.
Folks, we're different in this country. We're different. We got problems that need highlighting, but we only want some people highlighted. Folks, we got a problem. If you got the problem and you're selective with who highlighting it, you probably is part of the problem yourself. You're probably part of this problem. We got some serious issues in this country, but like we got real serious people. We're happy we have you here, folks, and that's just one of the things we follow. FYI. You know, we often see how a lot of things started. We don't often have a chance to see how it's going. But look what we're following. Y'all remember this overseer? Y'all remember this very different? Tell the woman, yes, you're paying for years on this pack, right? Yes, you're paying for years. Do you think it's you on? You think it's you on? He said, I can break it down. You bet it back. I can break it down. We showed it last night. You can't remember? All right.
Check for respect for people. Hey, let me tell you something. If you don't want me, don't. Me not got time with you, you know. You know? You don't check.
Even as I English language, I already taught you.
Hey, you don't tell me that me don't understand English language, right? You keep your disrespect for yourself. You keep it for yourself because you know what? The taxpayers' money, just in case you don't remember or you don't know or you don't care how you live or you get paid, you're employed here at the NDC.
Yep. So that is why we showed you guys last night. A very obdurate, insensitive, very insensitive NDC overseer. Well, he told the woman, if you build anything, we can break it down. We can break it down. Well, I like big auntie, you know. I like people with spunk. You don't back down when the first shot fire. No. You step up. So we have an update on that for you this evening. Big auntie, step up. You think them boys care? They don't care. They don't. We got an update on that. If I could only find it, I would show it, but we have an update. I promise you. We have an update. Yep.
Oh, girl. We gotta get going up and cut the update. Drink Molly, you gonna get fucking. Yeah, let me get the update over going on now. So you're moving cat to put dog. Alright, well we almost there now. Yeah. Almost there. Waiting for some zinc gone. And then we gonna get this thing right. They ain't got nothing to do with you, boss. Don't watch me. You just walking, right? You walk. Y'all don't make it around the world. Oh, don't get tired. Bro, y'all don't go around the world.
Yep. Big auntie stepping things up. She said, you come. I bail him back. You come. I love her. I love the kind of spunk, you know. You got a insensitive, real PPP overseer. When you see attitude, they say, hey, right? They want to promote you right away, you know. We want to promote him right away. They say, you come. I bail him back. We keep you all posted that this is the latest Guyanese sitcom. This is the part 2. Episode 1, part 2. We can dial back to that, folks. We can dial back to that one. So there's where we left it. The star is now being built back. Over to you, Chef the Line. Over to you. Become by them boys now. Y'all know this is full animal farm out here, though. Full animal farm, folks. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button. How y'all doing, man? That's a new bell, folks. I love it. You see that ring there? Get in touch with all the things. Jacobats and Church Crappos is this section, folks. Share the damn live. Smash the emoji button. And let me go down the road. Look where we start. Animal farm. Catfish. Well, y'all know y'all buy how we story go. You remember the man tell me we got the sugar shortage? Right? I think it's the wrong sugar he's talking about. He's talking about the sugar, down sugar. We ain't got the shortage in that at all. Right? It's tons they shipping to Belgium, tons they shipping to the Netherlands. No shortage here at top. But the other one, the brown girl. That is the one. But there's one out today. Right? He hop out. Well, fish don't hop. He swim out. Catfish swim out with a statement. He said for the shortage in sugar, the Guyana Manufacturing Corporation got. They're selling at $150 per pound. Right? This is the packet sugar. And then for the bulk sugar, I guess this is the 100-pound bag. They have for, $150 for the package and $140 per pound for the bulk. But you can only get it at Guyana Manufacturing Corporation. But we ain't got a shortage. Right? And then he shows behind now, that is the 2 tons of the down sugar that they shipped to Belgium at the back there. But we got no shortage. But you can only get it by GMC. But it's not a shortage. Right? It's for more efficiency and convenience. Only at GMC. but there's no shortage. Folks, we meet where we're going on, these guys, you know. When you got sugar in your house, you know, things really, rubber really hitting the road. As a matter of fact, the road and the rubber fuse indistinguishable. That's what we did on the PPP. Right? Imagine being a sugar and beginning blade and all. The biggest problem is who highlighting the problem. Right? Who highlighting the sugar deficiency? Who highlighting the fact that milk gone up? Right? It's not the milk that gone up. It's who highlighting it. That's the problem in this country. You see how we different? You see how we different? You see how them boys, you know, making rings around us? But that's what we following catfish, right? And why that is happening, folks? The foreign sugar dominated the market. I ain't talking about the sugar, dumb sugar. We know they dominated the market. But this other sugar we hear is sugar from bellies, sugar from all over, dominating the important sugar. If you got sugar shortage, why you importing sugar on this level? You can't find your Demerara Gold that you're accustomed to in the supermarket, but you can go and find product of bellies, sugar from bellies. But we ain't got no sugar shortage. We ain't got no sugar shortage. Them boys promised to make sugar great again. How we doing? You see, we thought was the brown sugar. But the sugar, dumb sugar, that make great again. Every day, it's a coke shipping out by the tons in this country, by the metric tons. Every goddamn day. Right? So indeed, right? You know, so the program out now and said Photoshop. It's the wrong sugar. Right? So the program, she would know. Remember she this, right? She would know. Photoshop. She would know the wrong sugar. The sugar down, folks. Share the damn live. Smash the emoji button for us, folks. We're going down the road. So sugar shortage, catfish. Well, the other them boys moving. The second couple ministries going up Houston. I want to sue property, then go and buy for billions of dollars to put on their ministries. They said at least ministry of housing. That's it for a salvo that we see moving. Folks, when them boys tell you things like this, something, you read the fine print. Read the fine print. Something is up. Who shared the damn live? Who will smash the emoji button for us? Something is happening. Read the fine print. It's housing moving to Houston. Houston, we have a problem. We're watching this one. We're watching the fine print. Don't trust them. If your life depends on it, don't trust them boys. It's a housing moving, some other ministry moving, and some new things coming. We watching and waiting. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. I think we saw Article 13 coming out and saying this government better watch yourself. The group of Article 13 of which Yag Mohadi is a part. He said they better watch yourself. He said because the way the economy going, the ingredients right for what happened in Sri Lanka, the way things going, they say all the ingredients are there for what has happened in Sri Lanka and what has happened in Suriname. And one of the things they name there is corruption. Corruptionism. The other thing, Article 13 spoke about nepotism, drug pushing. And they're telling the government, be warned, cancel me warn, take notice. We got all the ingredients here. And they're advising them to put the proper policies in place. And by that, they mean water cannon, tear gas and rubber bullet. Put the proper policies in place that benefit the people. So that they guarantee them could protest in peace or don't have to protest at all. And run when they see new come in. Right? They can get proper roads and so on. And we got sugar more available. Well, the good kind of sugar that is. It'll be more available. You know, what is starting in this sugar shortage? That even happened under another administration. It was a big news then, you know. Suddenly you see some PPPites come out saying, well, sugar got you anyhow. The different. Right? The different. And when the milk shortage comes, they say, you're using too much milk anyhow. It's time to slim down. But I know how much slim down, boy. You see all my little thing bone here showing now. If I bust this shot, you see this collarbone sticking out. You won't recognize me. Transformation. But Article 13 says, watch it. Watch it. We got all the ingredients here. The things to go from 0 to 60 real fast. And folks, fires and the PPP, y'all know them every day in this country. Something burning. And I ain't just talking about giants. Something burning in this country. Every day, something burning. Fires of the PPP. And we have been chronicling it at this end. We've been watching. Y'all know what we're talking about. You know, Chinsing Henry, Debbie Apple, Venro, you know we're talking about Chandel Moses, Gladstone man, fires of the PPP. Things just combust just like that in this country. Some people say it's a Jumbie burn. But when I say Jumbie burn, I know which one they're talking about. If it's Gancham or is the thing out here. Right? They say it's a Jumbie burn. I don't know. I just said, y'all, we have noticed an uptick fires of the PPP. And today, we saw the St. George's High School. A light, is it a light or a lit? Depends on which school you went to. It was blazing, folks. You know, we're so sorry, you know, for those students there and the teachers and everybody else. St. George's High School went up. Folks, the fire service like a 5 minutes from the corner from there? Is the fire service like a 5 minutes? How do fire services found wanting so often? This is like 5 minutes from the fire service, 5 minutes from the house of the president. State house. Right? You tell me we couldn't save St. George's? In the heart of the city? It's really fire service? This location is prime. Right? Them, you know them boys saying on the ground? You know them boys saying on the ground? Eh? I'll give you all a hint. Hotel. And I mean the cathedral which is nearby. Maybe the annex in the cathedral. Hotel. That's what we're hearing. Hotel. Right? That's the word on the ground. That is the word on the ground. Good folks. And here is some of what we saw. We want to thank a news source for some of the footage we have. Here's some of what we saw today. Fires of the PPP. Good folks. Fires.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yep. Fire. Now, thoughts, of course, go out to all the students affected. There over 400 students are going to be displaced by that fire. You know what I like about the PPP? They just stand up and watch. That's a new thing with them, you know. They just come, stand up and watch. They can't do nothing. They can't hold a hose. You know, they can't chill and stand. They just come and stand up and watch. Helplessly. Just come and stand up and watch. Are things burn. It's like the economy. It's on fire. Just let them stand up and watch. You know? Say, my God. Look, story here now. What are we going to do? Right? Just stand up and watch. That's all they do. But Priya Manichan, she came, she offered some comments. Take a listen.
Any school that is destroyed by anything is an extremely big blow.
Take a listen.
If we were ever on shore, then the two schools that went up in fire, us, the parents and students and teachers of those schools, how very difficult it is to teach and learn for the school population. This is a secondary school in the middle of Georgetown. It's going to affect a large number of persons. It's extremely saddening to watch, like very hard to watch this.
Yep. Priya Manichan was out there. A couple other ministers who just stand up and looking, watching the economy burn, watching St. George's burn. Fire service right from the corner. You know, I tired with them now. I've been putting up with them. I've been trying to defend them. You know, but things coming to a head. Things coming to a head. We're following. But folks, in 2 years, the fires, they're not alarming, and not just fires in general. The schools that have gone up in fire. Right? Chase Academy, August 2020, had a section of the school burnt by fire. This is just in Parade Street, I think, in, what area is that there? Kingston, North Rhinebeck Multilateral School, June 2021. A huge portion of that school went up in fire, went up in flames. You know, they're moving in since then, you know. The students, they're operating under tremendous stress. They're moving yet. Northwest Secondary School in Babaruma, September 2021. Just self-combust. Right? Then today, St. George's High School. You know? if every 2 years 4 high schools burn down in this country, we'll be there. Right? North Renfrew multilateral is multi. Right? Just for folks who are trying to find out where the school there. Multi. If every 2 years 4 schools burn down in this country, y'all see where we are. The whole education budget just going to building back schools. Something is wrong with that. Something is wrong with it. Now, you know what is strange with what I heard Premier Manichan say? We got to now go and look to see where these children are going to go. I thought you'd have a contingency plan. After 3 schools burned down, you got a list to say, okay, X happened in the city, this is where they go. Y happened in the Northwest, something, here's where they go. The people now going to the drawing board. The different, very much so. Them boys, different, but we're following, folks. 5 years of the PPP, and we have been following. We're running out of space on the Georgetown map. We're running out of space. Right? Since them boys come in, we have already 10 fires in the city. 10 fires in the city already. In another 2 years, 20, 4 more schools. It's madness. And then you add some near misses with fires. NIS breakdown, Camberville Post Office, Ministry of Local Government. It's Fire Nation. It's Fire Nation. But we're following it, folks. We follow it, and we can bring the information to you, folks, live and direct. The Jagabat, folks. Papa Jagabat, the Sarah Lynch plane. After Sarah Lynch, watch Vice News, right? Sarah Lynch going to see herself. If soon, they're about. So you got some American business executives here. Sarah Lynch will send them, Lisa ended by Pradoville, right? Sarah Lynch took them herself. You can see like Papa Jagabat vex. Looking face in this meeting. Like what is flipping woman doing here? I can't ask for a consulting fee. I can't ask for a processing fee. Right? Sue, where are you when needed? You get all the support. You have all the agreements. Sarah shop with the business executives. Sarah saying, this is how you do it. You meet at the office, not in living rooms. Right? And without Sue, Sarah taking chances. I love this. No chances. Don't think you can scandal with it. Don't think you can send them by Zacks for something they last. So Sarah said, she said, I'm moving to protest and shall sit right here. Nonsense. But notice something. Notice something here. Remember that Vice News piece. The Chinese men say, airfare is a waste. Sarah know that too. She went straight to the VP with the businessmen. She know that. She went straight to the VP, but she didn't give her no space for Sue. I sure Sue turned up in this meeting. Sarah asked, who's you? What's your role here? What's your portfolio? Right? So Sarah Lynch went herself. The people didn't look too pleased at all here. He didn't look too pleased at all here. Processing fee down this week. Processing fee down this week, folks. Might got to double up next week. Might just got to double up next week. Right? So whoever passed by next week, badly wounded. Picture of the day, though. Picture of the day. What story here now? What story? Picture of the day. This is at Sarah Lynch residence. You know them by saying in this country how serious crimes gone down by 30% and so on. Sarah believe, check out Sarah Grill. I saw Sarah got one of the most secure premises with guard and them boys got little packs got in those. And even with all of that security, Sarah taking chances. Sarah said, y'all don't come around me funny. Grilling your skin. Grilling your skin. I show this kind of handshake. Sarah asking, Chief, who is Sue really, man? Who is Sue? I went to see it by Barrett. I carry some investment. Like, the man vexed me. The man got the face thing up. But it's the grill for us, though. It's the grill. Sarah taking chances. The American Ambassador resident has to be one of the most secure places in this country. Perhaps the most secure in there. From 2x4 in Main Street there. But the woman got a licking grill up there, boy. A licking grill. Don't think. Y'all coming and team Sarah Jewels. Try that big grill. And notice you open the door halfway. Halfway quick, let in, you lock it back. Let me go have some coffee. Photo of the day, folks. Photo of the day. Y'all know we've been following the Clinton Bacchus case, right? Well, the people turn up to court. The case jacket missing. They got to come back till October. The case jacket missing. You see why Sarah got him a big grill? If that case jacket went in a big grill, but it's still been right there, case jacket missing, the folks got to come back October 5th. Where's the justice in this country? Where? You understand why justice went last evening? Yesterday said, how this thing taking so long? It's so easy to delay. To fire 6 shots in the man back, it's so easy. But to get justice for him, my God, may God have mercy on all of us folks. Pace and power. Pace and power. We've been following the leader of the opposition, folks. We've been following him. Pace and power today. You know, them boys tried all kinds of things in National Assembly to suspend MPs. You know, damn loud still in the National Assembly after talking about dildo and which female MP need a dildo and all that. They should be so ashamed. But ashamed, what all ashamed now, you know? It's pure madness they're running on. Well, the motion was filed, folks, to censure Sue Friend, the man that gives you all the support, and who gives him all the agreements to handle. A motion was filed in the National Assembly just today. We say pace and power. And we want to give you folks some of that. We want to give you folks some of what the leader of the opposition said. And then, good folks, then good people, I'm going to have my guests. Then I'm going to have my guests. I want you guys to take a listen to what the leader of the opposition said just today, folks, just today, on the steps of the National Assembly. Take a look and take a listen. Yep.
Parliamentary opposition government's attempts to silence opposition members of parliament. The parliamentary opposition wished to condemn in the strongest manner the decision of the PPPC to suspend 8 opposition members of parliament for protecting the resources of our people. The government's decision is unconstitutional since it violates the principles of natural justice and did not allow for due process. This is another manifestation of the undemocratic and lawless behavior of the People's Progressive Party in the National Assembly. It is the same undemocratic behavior in the National Assembly on December 29, 2021, when they purported to pass the contentious Natural Resource Fund bill that led to protest action. The PPPC ignored a petition signed by Guyanese requiring that the bill goes to a special select committee to allow for broad consultations in keeping with Article 13 of the Guyana Constitution, which states, and I quote, "The principal objective of the political system of the state is to establish an inclusionary democracy by providing increasing opportunities for the participation of citizens and their organizations in the management and decision-making process of the state, with particular emphasis on those areas of decision-making that directly affect their well-being," unquote. It must be recalled that many civil society organizations publicly asked for more consultation on those aspects of the bill that were quite troubling, especially the significant reduction in civil society oversight of the National Resource Fund by reducing the 22 persons committee in the APNU-AFC 2019 Act to just 9 members. Our 8 members of parliament were upholding the Constitution and representing the people of this country when they requested that the contentious bill be referred to a special select committee. Our 8 members of parliament were fighting for the respect for the rule of law and against the undemocratic behavior of the government by vehemently calling for there to be consultation on the bill. Having fought to protect our people from a Natural Resource Fund bill that has been structured to facilitate PPPC corruption, domination, and control, the PPP wants to sanction us without respect for the principles of natural justice and due process, which necessitate that the accused be given adequate notice a fair hearing and to be represented by legal counsel. It is enshrined in our Constitution that every citizen, including members of Parliament, must be given a fair hearing by a competent, impartial, and fair court or any other tribunal as mandated by law. All 8 members of Parliament responded between the 4th and 7th March 2022 to a letter which requested that they show cause in writing to the Clerk of the National Assembly why the Committee of Privileges should not recommend to the National Assembly that sanctions be meted out to them for alleged gross disorderly conduct, contempt, and breach of privileges. All 8 members of Parliament requested further information from the Clerk of the National Assembly on the allegations, since the motion which referred them to the Committee of Privileges for gross disorderly conduct, contempt, and breach of privileges never specified which of their acts so qualified. To this day, none of the 8 members of Parliament has received a response from the Clerk of the National Assembly, the Clerk of the Committee of Privileges, or the Speaker of the National Assembly. However, the opposition MPs are now in receipt of a report from the Committee of Privileges, which has ascribed to them several false and trumped-up acts intended to impugn their good character. The report recommends suspension for all MPs. We reject this attempt to silence our voices in the National Assembly, as we consider the Assembly to be A, unconstitutional, because our Constitution, the supreme law of our land, enshrines the right of all citizens to natural justice. That is, the right of every Guyanese, regardless of the charges, to be given an opportunity to be heard by a competent, independent, and impartial court or any other tribunal prescribed by law. It is unparliamentary because the records of Parliament show that all members of Parliament in the past who were referred to the Committee of Privileges were always afforded the opportunity to be represented by legal counsel of their choice and were all given the opportunity to be heard. And 3, it's an act of political discrimination and suppression aimed at deterring and intimidating opposition MPs from fully scrutinizing and criticizing the actions of the government on behalf of the Guyanese people at a time when the government is squandering our resources. The PPP acts in complete disregard for the rule of law. It continues to demolish the guardrails of democracy. These dictatorial actions of the government must be met with the fiercest of fight in accordance with our Constitution. To date, the regime has withdrawn $83.2 billion, and there is no transparency or accountability, and there is nothing we as Guyanese can point to as a tangible investment or development in our country. In fact, life has gotten worse under the PPPC as they mismanage the economy and enrich its elite, friends, and families. The PPP hand-picked board of directors has not made any public statement since their installment. And we, the Guyanese people, are yet to see any form of oversight as is recommended by the bill that was passed under questionable circumstances. We wish to make it clear that on that fateful night, we saw ourselves as the last line of defense in the light of PPP intransigence and dictatorial behavior. Today, the raping of our natural resources fund continues under this installed regime. But we will stand together as a people against the ongoing mismanagement and squandering of our resources. In this regard, we wish to inform the press that we will file legal action against the government for attempting to sanction our members of parliament while at the same time violating the laws of Guyana. So that action will be filed shortly. Thank you.
All right, folks. That's how that went today. And I'm privileged to have with me this evening in studio, you know these folks, none other than Member of Parliament Amanzo Walton is here, Member of Parliament Director of Finance. Of course, you know, Amanzo heads up the Shadow Ministry for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and Director does the same for Finance. Ladies, welcome. And the morning host too of FRI. Hostesses. Thank you for having us. Good to have you folks. Amanzo Director, you all see what has happened during the course of the day. You know about this this proposal to suspend the 8 of the parliamentary opposition MPs and the motion that was filed just this morning concerning censuring Barjagdio over the whole Sugate fiasco, among other things. Talk to us. We start with the answer.
Well, I think the leader of the opposition so correctly put it that it is important that Parliament, as the lawmaking body, itself follows the law. And from what we understand of the procedure, the rights of the 8 MPs have been trampled on, and the fitting recourse is to the courts of law. And so I'm quite happy that he has made the statement that he has made, and that we are demonstrating that we are very serious about our defense of the people of Guyana. As he said, they continue to empty the Natural Resources Fund because of the very lax oversight that they have codified when they threw out the previous Natural Resource Fund bill and put in this very loose one. So, pace and power, we intend to stand firm, and we intend to hold this government accountable. It's really, it has gotten to the ridiculous now, the levels that we have sunk. And there are a couple more things happening.
Correct.
Talk about
Coming to that.
Just how badly the parliament and the parliamentary democracy is eroded in Guyana.
And waning, definitely. Juja, what is your take on today's events?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I am in full support of the action and the motion there being filed by the leader of the opposition here today. And I believe that Guyanese need to rally that support around this as well, because this concerns representation of the people of Guyana, and that's the main focus. You know, I heard the opposition leader loud and clear there when he said, you know, the parliamentarians stood up, seeing that we are the last line of defense to the people of this country, and that was most important to me. On, you know, that fateful day in question there, as we would remember it. And as Amanzo rightly said, you know, thereafter, 2 withdrawals thus far from Natural Resource Fund, absolutely no accountability and transparency as to where those monies will be directed. You know, and this is something that we were fighting against. So this is not about, and I always say, this is not about APNU or PPP. This is about the rights of the Guyanese people, making representation for the monies that are there that should be spent equitably among Guyanese. And this is what we've been fighting to represent. We are heading there tomorrow, and it cannot be accepted that folks there, the members of parliament, will be treated with such disregard, that you can just so easily decide that, oh, you're going to muzzle 8 members of parliament of the opposition side. And I want to say, you know, with this action, you know, something that Justice Peter said at the CCJ comes to mind, you know, the haste to punish. You know, it's something that is resounding there. But when it comes to actually moving forward in the right direction, so as to put policy measures in place to benefit Guyanese, there is absolutely no haste.
Correct. And we've had a number of motions before the National Assembly as a parliamentary opposition to shed light on issues, to debate, to discuss a number of things. There isn't a haste as there is now to add those things to the parliamentary agenda for discussion. One of those things was supposed to be a discussion and debate on the high cost of living currently. Let's talk about that.
It is. I am still I don't want to say disbelief, but I am saddened that this is where we have sunk into. So the opposition had tabled a motion to be put on the order paper to be debated tomorrow. In that motion, we called for the government to implement measures and a basket, a menu of measures to bring relief to Guyanese for the high cost of living. That motion, I think Ms. Annette Ferguson was the mover of that motion. It was initially rejected on the ground that it needed to be amended. Ms. Ferguson dutifully did that amendment, and the motion was then approved and included on the order paper to be debated tomorrow. Late this afternoon, the AP and UAFC received correspondence from the Speaker that that motion will no longer be tabled because it contravenes some provision that when we look at it, completely irrelevant to the issue. So in essence, what the Speaker of the National Assembly has said is that no motion on bringing relief to the people of Guyana for the high cost of living can be entertained in the National Assembly. Unbelievable. We have people who are suffering. We don't have sugar. Bread is how much dollars? $800 for a loaf of bread in some parts of this country. And the Speaker of the National Assembly this afternoon writes to us to say that we cannot come to Parliament to ask that the Parliament hurriedly addresses this issue of cost of living. This is, I believe, the straw that will have to break the camel's back. We had the Henry boys, the motion that was brought. He denied hearing that. We had what Irfan Ali himself turned the greatest national disaster, natural disaster in the country in the case of the floods. We brought a motion asking for relief. The Speaker said that it was neither urgent nor a matter of public importance, so it could not be entertained.
And the day after that, Irfan Ali declared a national state of emergency.
And the day after that, he declared a state of emergency. Now today, we know that every Guyanese, poor, working class, middle class Guyanese, they're feeling the ravages of the cost of living. And this afternoon, the Speaker of the National Assembly says to us that we cannot bring a motion to bring relief to the people of Guyana. Meanwhile, they have extracted billions of dollars from the consolidated fund. Meanwhile, Ashley Singh has the temerity to say that they are monitoring the situation. When you look at places like Barbados, you see the government actively addressing. And Jarrett is the economist in our midst, and she will give us the numbers, but you see the government of Barbados actively addressing this issue. They have removed VAT off of 45 necessary food items. Not only that, they have entered into an agreement with the private sector to make sure that the price cuts are passed to the consumer. That is what leadership looks like. Meanwhile, in our National Assembly, the Speaker has said to us that we cannot ask Parliament to bring relief to the people of Guyana. He is a national embarrassment. The entire PPP is a national embarrassment.
It's interesting because, we always talk about that we are not the end all. It's interesting to see what civil society will do. And we always talk about that, what the private sector will do, because this is affecting business people as well. This high cost of living, Rita knows the figures where inflation is concerned and all of those things. This is affecting this whole country. And to not even be able to afford like I would love to ask the Speaker, what is urgent in your mind? Let's start from there, for discussion, because it seems as though, but basically it's the opposition bringing it, so nothing will ever be urgent. And that is sad. That is very, very sad. Julia?
I have something. The first thing I want to say is that when it comes to the measures being implemented in Barbados, I see efforts being placed for direct transfer, so that there's no hope and there's no utilization of any policy to gear that trickle down economics, hoping that at some point in time it gets there to the ordinary Guyanese, the ordinary people of Barbados in that case. But as opposed to what is implemented in Guyana, any measure that is implemented follows through with this concept of trickle down economics, with hope that it gets to the ordinary Guyanese. I think that the administration and the persons sitting in the seats as they are right now needs to take a page out of that of the books of the Barbados government at the moment. I think even when it comes to school children, I'm not sure if you just mentioned that, the very much so the school children, there's a Prime Minister of Barbados right about now even asking that the school system that provides meals for the school children, for that to be done throughout the course of the holidays, because they understand what is leadership. They understand what it means to cater for the needs of the ordinary people. And it is something that we're not seeing here in Guyana. But I want to specifically give a little bit of details when it comes to that particular correspondence that came out today, this afternoon, very late at the 9th hour, when it comes to removing that particular motion that was tabled by Anna Ferguson in the National Assembly. And I want to quote, because it is being dismissed as said because of the content of the be it resolved clause. And guys, you have to hear for yourself, because it says here, I'm going to read directly from the motion. It says, be it resolved, the government of Guyana promptly devise a strategy or plan to address the high cost of living Guyanese are burdened with, and be it further resolved that the government of Guyana makes provision for each Guyanese above the age of 18 years to be assisted with the high cost of living in Guyana. And guys, you have to hear the response to that, because it's given here. The correspondence that states reason for it being removed from the order paper says, His Honor has asked me to draw your attention to Article 171(2) of the Constitution. This article explicitly prohibits considerations by the National Assembly of any bill or motion, the effect of which would be to make provision for payment, issue, or withdrawal from the consolidated fund without the recommendation or consent of the cabinet of the cabinet signified by a minister. This constitutional provision is replicated by Standing Order number 25 of the National Assembly. You just heard me read the be it resolved clause, and how does that fit in? How does it even sum together? There is no part of the be it resolved clause that speaks to any fund being withdrawn at any point in time. No part of the be it resolved clause that asks for any monies to be withdrawn from the consolidated fund. So how then do you give any explanation that ties the two together?
It gets a little more asinine when you actually go to the constitutional provision that he quoted and you read it. Because when you look at it, what you see is that it only affects where there is the imposition or the increasing of any tax.
Correct.
We've not asked for that.
We haven't asked for that.
That motion doesn't speak to that. It says for the imposing of any charge upon the consolidated fund or any other public fund, or for altering any charge or otherwise reducing it. We have not.
There is no part of that
for that in that motion. For the payment, issue, or withdrawal from the consolidated fund, which you just cited, we have not asked for that. What we approach the parliament to ask for is, look, guys, we are the elected representatives of our people, and our people are punishing right now. Can we, as MPs from whichever side, sit down and come up with a relief package? Naturally, for it to become law, it would have to be moved. But it would have been moved with a spirit of, you know what, we recognize that our people are suffering. And as elected MPs, we have to take care of the obvious. You have to take care of the obvious first. And our people are obviously suffering. But no, the PPP, if this is not an indication to the people of Guyana that the PPP, they simply, and the PPPC government I'm talking about, the elite, the cabal at Rob Street, that they do not care about the poor and working class Guyanese, I do not know what is. I don't know what is, and I do not know what else it will take for Guyanese.
I know Guyanese fed up.
Of your,
we know Guyanese fed up, and this is why, for instance, Article 13, as we said earlier in the broadcast, cautioning them. We got all the whole recipes right here. What has transpired in Sri Lanka and what is happening in Suriname. The whole thing right here.
Yes, but you see, you also aired a snippet tonight that shows that we have a problem in the psyche of our nation, because you want a road fix, but you want to determine that this person must not highlight your plight. And that is a dangerous thing because it says that you are content to sit and suffer in silence. Because somehow we have been trained to think that if we speak up against those that we support, it's a problem. And so we have, as a nation, I think, to really do introspection, because I do not understand for the life of me how we can sit by and not raise our voices against this. We don't have sugar in the shop. Gas has gone up. Oil has gone up. People literally come up to us every day. We're on the ground. They come up, MP, we don't have anything to eat. You have to try now to eke out ways of supporting from the little that you have.
A lot of folks are hurting in this country.
Our people are hurting. And here you have a speaker that is saying, we cannot address that in Parliament. My position is, if we can't address it, we can't talk about nothing else.
And you know what? We'll have the public know that close to a year ago, a motion of no confidence was filed against the Speaker and Robeson Ben, the Minister of Home Affairs. Those were sent for a legal opinion from the Attorney General's office, but we're still waiting.
Has not come about.
I think the health minister was one of
the health minister in addition to. We're still waiting over a year now. And again, Justice is with out of the CCJ. His words come back to us, you know. We seem very eager to penalize, but to hear the substance of the thing, not so quick to do that at all. And I'm trying to remember a motion that the parliamentary opposition has brought that has been debated. I'm trying to remember one, and we brought countless ones.
We brought on flaring. He said that it was sub judice and could not be heard. We brought on the Henry boys. Ms. Chandan moved that motion. He said that it was sub judice and could not be heard. It is interesting that there is now a matter filed as it relates to the suspension of the 8 opposition MPs. So we wait with bated breath to see if it will be sub judice.
You know, I'm happy to hear you say that, because Ganesh Maipal, MP Ganesh Maipal, was supposed to be joining us this evening to shed some light on that, because he's been looking at that very, very intricately into those things that the Speaker has been saying they are sub judice. We can't talk about them. And to shed some light. But we're going to try to have Ganesh tomorrow. It was our problem at our end, some technical challenges that we were having. We're going to try to have Ganesh on the morning show tomorrow. Jurita, you know, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Man said, it cannot be business as usual. I did right there.
Yeah, it cannot be business as usual, but we have to continue to get the message across. I think that's one of the most important aspect of change, educating persons and getting a clear message across. Amanda says it best: informed citizens make informed decisions. And you know, you don't take it lightly the amount of information that shows like the shows you're doing right now actually get across. And specifically when it comes to the video that you played a bit earlier, with it showed a lot. You know, it's a lot of insight into the psyche of Guyanese and how they see things and what they are willing to withstand, just not to break this chain that they are used to and come out of this comfort zone that they believe to be some kind of safety net for them altogether. I want to bring the point that as Guyanese, and this is a message that I every platform I'm on, I always say the same thing, that we need to remove ourselves from a position of believing that our biggest issue in this country is one based on the color of our skin. And when we realize that the bigger issue is one of an economic nature, when we realize the bigger issue is a class issue and classism, and the way in which that is utilized by the PPP administration to further divide our country, when people realize the masses are in that lower class struggling together, and if they only have the knowledge and the understanding and the common decency and actual zeal to do better as a people and for them and for themselves and families, they will unite their voices, and all of this could end with one unification of the voices of that class.
The point that you make is very well demonstrated in Sri Lanka, in Suriname. The point that you make is well demonstrated. You know, they have caste systems in Sri Lanka, which speaks to the issue of classism that you spoke about. Suriname is a mixed nation just as much as ours. But you saw a people in the street demanding more. And I want to say, we should not underestimate the levels of intimidation utilized against PPP supporters by the PPP elite.
Yeah.
Well, we saw a piece of that video
with
in the sis Narang Singh.
Yeah. Democrats. I think that is part of what played out in Bladen Hall, in the sense that they know if they are photographed or videoed on an APNU stream, then it looks as though, yes, then they're ungrateful.
And worse, not only tagged ungrateful, but the level of intimidation that is utilized, you will not be able to imagine.
Yeah, the embarrassing in front.
But you see, we, as Loretta said so correctly, we have to continue to educate our people, and we have to continue to speak to them. There is power in numbers, there is power in unity, because I love the fact that we have been able to crystallize the message to the point that our people begin to understand that this thing about race, and it's funny because sometimes it's not even about skin color, it's probably more about hair texture, because there's some people of a different race who are darker than me, darker than Loretta. And so we even have to contextualize our race issue properly. And so when you look at the fact that this racism is used to maintain the classism that Loretta is talking about, then you understand why it is important that we break the back of this thing once and for all, and understand that as a Guyanese, I am entitled to a good life under whichever government.
Correct.
Why am I willing to sacrifice a good life? Why is it that I'm content to suffer under my own? Why am I imposing that on my children and on my generation?
Because you don't want to embarrass the manager.
Meanwhile, let me make this point. Meanwhile, none of them, you ask any one of them when last they went into the shop to look for sugar, and they cannot tell you. Ask any one of them when last they paid water or light, and they cannot tell you. Ask any one of them what is the cost for a pound of milk in the shop, and they cannot tell you, because they live in a bubble. Their groceries are provided for with taxpayers' money. Their transportation is provided for with taxpayers' money. All of their living expenses are paid by taxpayers who are catching hell to feed their family. And if we continue to stay quiet, then the fault is no longer theirs, the fault becomes ours.
We can change that shortly. All that taxpayers paying for this. Judy, you have the final word.
Well, two things. I also two bits I want to add. The first I want to say is make the point of folks in Sri Lanka, and there's a specific call right now by the protesters there in Sri Lanka, and they're calling for the release of the political prisoners. And I thought that was a resounding message for Guyanese and everyone else that's in struggle when it comes to fighting dictatorial regimes with dictatorial tendencies, as the one that we're seeing right here and we're experiencing right here at home in Guyana. And that message is clear. It is that persons there in Sri Lanka, the government, the past administration that they just forced out of office, took political prisoners. They did everything in their power to muzzle everyone, but the horde started to move. And when the horde moved, it moves, as Boris Johnson so clearly said. So nobody, and I want to make it very clear, yes, we understand the fear. Yes, we understand all the intimidation tactics and all of that. We come out and we speak up, and we take that risk because we have been elected.
We are intimidated.
Exactly.
We are castigated.
We have with families, with children. As a mother, you still have to go out there and you take the fight to them every single day, being on pro, speaking out. This country is in a state right about that people are afraid to raise their voice, but we have to continue to do it because we have to get persons to the understanding that they deserve better. And that brings me to my second point and final point that I want to make, and that is people in Guyana, particularly the support base of the PPP administration, they have been allowing themselves to be bought cheaply by the administration. They have been allowing themselves to be bought by chump change by the administration. In an oil-rich country, billions of dollars are being spent. The administration is squandering billions of dollars, and the support base of the PPP has allowed themselves to be bought cheaply, and their what was the word used by Mrs. Sasterin? No, what was the word used by him? He said gratefulness.
Yeah.
Their gratefulness.
Yeah.
They've allowed themselves to be muzzled for chump change by the administration. And persons need to get the understanding, the picture that more is there. And it just needs to be managed efficiently. More is there.
Demand more.
Correct. More
Demand
is there. And it just needs to be distributed in such a way that it is equitably distributed. Access to resources must be equitable.
It can be done.
Access
We believe
to
that.
setting up
Can be
business
done.
must be equitable. Not because you were born into a poor family means that is your destiny. And this is what the chain and the thought, the cycle needs to be broken. We have to continue to fight it. But we're going to continue to do our part. I intend to give it my all, every bit of effort. I'm out of the house day and night sometimes when it comes to leaving my family, my children behind. Just to make sure we make the representation. We have to continue to do it.
Gotta do what we gotta do. Manza?
No, Jared is absolutely right. You know, a lot of people underestimate. We're mothers. She and I both. We have children. But here we are doing this. And it's not that you need an award or any such thing, but the point is that struggle and a successful struggle will require effort.
Yeah.
It is not going to come from sitting behind a keyboard and typing. It will require more than that. It will require you being committed to taking whatever action is necessary to ensure that this government listens and understands they're the servant of the people and not otherwise. The government is the servant of the people. The people are not the servants of the government.
Well said. Well said. We're going to have to leave it there, folks. We're out of time, a little bit over time as well, but we're so happy that so many of you stuck with us. Wayne Bob and Michael Reed and Chisel Chipper, you know, the usual suspect, and Beverly and Mark McBean. All of you beautiful, wonderful folks. We're going to continue this discussion in the morning on the FYI and below the bell tomorrow. We're back in Parliament tomorrow. And also tomorrow evening, back in the ring, folks. Thanks for joining us. It's been my privilege having, of course, my co-hosts for FIA in the mornings, both Julia Finance and the wonderful Amanda Walter this year. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks. Thanks for joining us. Share the live, smash the emoji button, folks, and of course, partner with us. Thanks for joining.